Hey guys, welcome to Storytime with Jester. Today I'm going to be going over part 2 of the unboxing of the City of Darkenhaven boxed set. So in part 1 I showed you the player's guide, which is called A Tourist Guide to the Streets of Darkenhaven, and I showed you the Deepest Fear adventure levels 6 through 9. Went over the NPC cheat sheets, the 108 NPC portraits, the special and magical item cards, of which there are 57, and the Gooey Cube rewards cards. Today, I'm going to be going over the books that you get in this boxed set. The first one is Volume 1, Legends, Lore, and Historical Accounts. Inside here, you are going to get to that page. You're going to find out about the foundations of Darkenhaven, the heritage of Darkenhaven, the culture of Darkenhaven, the political machinery of Darkenhaven, notable families of Darkenhaven, organizations of Darkenhaven, magical institutions in Darkenhaven, the religion in Darkenhaven, law and consequences, defenses, money and economy, notable family crests, and then a little note before you move on. Now, here you go. This is Darkenhaven. It is got twin waterfalls on either side, and that big port there, a big cavern opening in the middle, where it shows that ship about to go in or out. Is it out or in? That just came out of. That is the underground cavern city of Gloomport, which will be coming out for purchase soon. And when I receive my copy of it, I will be doing another unboxing of that city box set as well. But just to give you a little bit idea of what Darkenhaven is, this is the speech of Julian Fornastus, which was the founder of Darkenhaven. Yeah. All right. A transcript of a speech purportedly given by Julian Fornastus, a leading figure among the survivors of the area in the immediate aftermath of the Woe of Ruin. Quite likely it was embellished and edited in later centuries to better serve as a founding document for the city of Darkenhaven. Now, just a really quick brief history of what that meant there. So in the world of Ziathe, you had this cataclysmic event called the Woe of Ruin, and what that was in effect for the citizens was just crazy upheavals in the world, to where it almost destroyed the entire planet. You had tsunamis, you had earthquakes, you had magic going haywire, and a lot of people dying, and as a result, the magic was warped or changed, and so a lot of you had flying cities back then. Almost all the flying cities crashed to the ground, and just beings and magic being warped and changed into things that were never seen before. And during that time, in this specific locale, you had the city of Twinning Falls, named obviously for the two waterfalls falling on either side, and that city was destroyed, and all the people topside went to seek refuge in the port city below of Gloomport, which wasn't really a city back then. But in any case, after it was deemed safe to go back up topside again, most of the refugees did so, led by Julian Fernastus, and then they created a city there on the same spot as Twinning Falls, which actually is not where Darkenhaven is right now. It was actually to the east a little bit. And another event 19 years later, again magical in nature, basically leveled that city, and they then moved over to what is now the spot that the city of Darkenhaven is at. And so since then, Darkenhaven has flourished, and as you can tell in the picture, there's a lot of houses and businesses there. But anyway, so this is to give you a little history and background of what's going on and how it came to be and who Julian Fernastus is. And now let's go on to his speech. My dear fellows, citizens of Twinning Falls, residents of Dun Harbor, which was the Gloomport, what Gloomport used to be called, and survivors of the Great Woe, you have endured much, as have all who yet live in the aftermath of this terrible calamity. Sadly, I fear the disaster that struck our world will leave no one and no place unchanged. We have seen waves the likes of which none have beheld since the dawn of creation. They crashed over continents and inundated entire habitations, burying them under rock and sediment. They sank ships and drowned sailors and land dwellers alike. We have seen fire roll over the landscape without regard for anything in its path. Lava and earthquakes have altered the contours of Zyathe forever. Lands have been sunk and split asunder. Storms of unparalleled size have ravaged everything they touched. We have seen the high brought low, the magnificent flying cities torn from the sky, never to rise again, leaving horror and devastation where they fell. Did we cause this great destruction? No. It was through the hubris of but one mortal who aspired to godhood, Galsynthros the Haughty, and not just he, but all who imagined themselves equal with the gods, even I can never pronounce this right, Avoa himself, for they believed their magics insurmountable, eternal, imperishable. They fancied themselves rulers of the heavens, and have paid the price for their arrogance, as have we all. Yet we have persevered through all the tempests, the infernos, the timblers, the upheavals, and if this is the price of the proud and mighty being cast down, we bear it with honor. We are even better for it, though at a terrible cost. So let us set our jaws, clutching our tools and weapons as we venture to rebuild a new and better world from the wreckage of the old. We did not cause its ruin, but we will be the founders of a reborn civilization. It will be a place of diligence, hope, and of humility in the face of powers greater than we. Let us remain faithful to each other and to those who reign in the heavens, who have granted us mercy, deeming us worthy of setting the cornerstone of a new society. We shall march with heads held high and reclaim what once was ours. Having been renewed by the trials of fire, water, wind, and earth, we advance to form a humbler community in the ruins of our former homes. We must do this to remain sovereign over the lands we were once given and even now retain. Let us honor those who went before us, the tribulations we have endured, and divine favor in providing refuge and by founding today this city of Darkenhaven. As before, I remain your servant in this endeavor. Even as you look to me for leadership, request of me what you need, for we are all in this together. May the gods bless our efforts. Julian Fernastus. Just like it prefaced in the preface prior to his actual speech, things have been embellished and edited in later centuries. In his speech here, it says, in founding today the city of Darkenhaven, he actually would have said Twinning Falls because that was what they were building at the time, not Darkenhaven. And so you can see how what it, just a little glimpse there of what they meant by embellishing and editing. But anyway, that's his speech. So inside you get a whole bunch of artwork and information over on the city of Darkenhaven. And some of the lands surrounding it. Trying to navigate how the camera is actually pointing always messes me up. Oh, and here's the chapter on guilds, leagues, and societies, and they actually have little insignias or crests, if you want to call them, of the different leagues and guilds. I thought that was pretty cool. And then you also have the notable family crests. All right. So that pretty much takes care of book 1. Volume 1, I should say. Now, volume 2 is split up into 2 parts, because there's just so many friggin' locations. And that's what this is. A not-so-brief guide in the wards and neighborhoods of the capital city of Darkenhaven. Okay. There are so many locations here. You've got, let's see, in Bayview, you have the Bayview Inn. You have the Celestial Observatory, the Crystal Chalice, the Jumping Frog, Addie's Amazing Artistries, the Silken Slipper, Riverfront Alabaster Baths, the Brazen Boar of Bayweather, Fontaine's Findings, the Old Intler Library, Wicks and Things, Daggers and Darts Tavern. Then you got Oogerton. Love that name. Such a cool name. Oh my gosh. In Boogerton, you've got places like, let's see here. You go to, here we go. The Dragon Eye Fighters Guild. The Quiet Caretaker. Clydestone Leathers and Letters. Nicolo's Marquise. Iza's Tap and Tumble. Some more awesome artwork here. This gives you a creepy vibe. Got Drondaldan's Rainbow. Fair Knuckles Fist. Jade's Junkyard. Rezzy's Ink Shop. Skinned Alive. Hammer and Anvil. The Filthy Forest. The Custodians of the Condemned. Then you got Cobblestone. In Cobblestone, you have places like University Glassworks, the Dew Spring Point, Harmony Lane Clinic, the Bric-a-Brac and Home for Lost Children, the Sounds of Aether Music Shop, the Drunken Ogre, Fools Down, Dojo of the Claw, Samarth's Spices and Sweets, that's Rainy Windsong, the Three Sisters Bakery, Olwasa and Jahini's Odds and Ends, Black Eagle Bed and Breakfast, the Halfling House, all right, then you got Coliseum. In the Coliseum, you've got places like the Grand Coliseum of the Accord, Iron Helm Ironworks, the Rooston Fight Club, or maybe that's called Rouston, the Duo Dushu School, the Emporium of Heroes and Curiosities, the People's Bathhouse, the Brazen Boar of Colosseum, the Whispering Pool, the Laughing Fairy, the Champions Hall, Giggle Snort's General Snort. Let me try that again. Giggle Snort's General Store, the Street of Flames, Sneaky Snacks and Sips, Blade's Edge Emporium. And then you got Fishertown. Got the Salty Carp, the Pickling Plant, the Dock House, Barrels by Boatload, Rolling Hills Bakery, Barnacle Bob's Tavern and Flophouse, Crab's Pot, the Spiny Lobster, Peggy's Plumes, the Bait and Switch, Wind Whistle Mill, Crowder Fish Fanciers Club, the River Fishers Guild, and you have God's Ward. You have the Plaza of the Gods, the Secret Pass. Let's not say that. Let's see here. The Marvelous Sanctuary of Freedom, the Most Merciful Tabernacle of Benevolence, the Unbroken Order of Mercy's Orphanage, the Laborer's Rest, the Grand Basilica of All Gods, the Memorial Garden of the Dead, the House of the Elements, the Blasphemarium, the illustrious Cathedral of the Ninambulary, the Distinguished Halls of Justice and Law, the Refectory, the Moor's Watch, the Shrine of Golden Light, the High Exalted Tower of Learning and Lore, the Seed of Nine Blooms, and then we got Governor's Isle. All right, you have Castle Darkenhaven, the Shining Tabernacle of Prayerful Consideration, the Citadel of the Republican Military, the Courts of Justice, the Tower of the Zyanthusic Masterhood, the Grand and Noble Repository of Knowledge, the Mitrium Axis Carriage House, Sommeliers Hollow, the Grand Edifice of the Guildmasters Consortium, Haven upon Mastroon Inn and Tavern, and that is the end of Book 1 of Volume 2, a not-so-brief guide to the wards and neighborhoods of the capital. On to Book 2. Highgarden. You got the Cloudtop Club. You got the Mute Swan. The Kismian Card Parlor. The Blue Dragon. Mistratus Hall. The Ruined Building, which is a personal favorite of mine. You never know what goes on in ruined buildings. The Court Royale, the Arnold Grand Opera Hall, the Silver Stirrup Equestrian Academy, Nix's Sticks, Good Fortune's Boon, Promenade Park, Mug on a Mug, the High Garden Trollis Station, You got High Garden Shops. You got Golden Leaf Engravers, Andronita's Oddities, Werber's Woolens, Borgel's Boutiques, the High Garden Haberdashery, Music Boxes and Ship Clocks, the Midnight Rose Dreams, Chica's Pleasure House, or maybe it's Ikika's, depending on how you pronounce it, Bubbles Salon, Pedal and Plate, Maisie's Makeovers, Nimble Knuckles, the Main Domain, the Lucinda Arnold Rhythmia Pavilion, then you have Middleton. This is one of my favorite locations, and you'll find out here why in just a second. All right, you got the Tyrant's Tankard, Chop Chop's Sweet Meat Treats, Madada Alada Bank of Traders and Artisans. I'm sure I screwed that name up, but anyway. The Pilly Shizzle Orphanage, Papa Pavre's Provisions and Procurements, the Great Willow Tavern, Mecho's Pet Shop, Wizardly Bangs, Brews and Brews, Alcohol and Alchemy, Tallow Bits, Perfectly Yours, Strange Stables, Banjo's Tavern, The Writer's Right, Codlinger's Clocks, The Whispering Wyvern Tavern and Inn, Dobbler's Papers and Parchments, Minnie Minerva's Menagerie, The Vault, Breaker's Pugilist Training Hall and Clinic, Brawley's Tavern, Bardic Bakers, Valeria's Baubles and Curiosities, End of the Line Taproom, This Old Gnome, Knox's Barrel Emporium, Night Daisy Notions, All Things Faerie, Survival Specialists, Been There, Done That, Lived, Caltrops Galore, Panato's Second-Hand Clothing, Nearly Magical, The Silver Scales Headquarters, The Honest Merchant, The Junction, a lot of those I had actually written. So that's one of the reasons that's one of my most favorite locations. There's still one other that is near and dear to my heart. We haven't gotten there yet. Let's see here. Did I miss it somewhere? Did I miss it in this first book? Let me go back and see if I missed it, because it should have been in there. Okay. Huh. Maybe I'll find it here shortly, because I'm not seeing it here. Heck, we'll figure it out. Alright, what do we got here? We got... Where was I at? Sorry. Went on a little... what do you call it? Rabbit hole. Okay, we got Riverside. You have Darkenhaven University, the Fountain Square Park, the Cloisters, the Grand, the Sunflower, Creature Comforts, Grimmentail's Shoes, Echoes Amphitheater, Grinnin Fingee's Botanical Gardens and Cultural Museum, Avara's Fine Clothier, Petite Palaces, Fender's Fee Investigators, the Lute and Flute, Lutes, Flutes, and Tambourines, Grendel's Pawn Shop, the Pragmatist's Apothecary, Flavaflams, the Trestle Torp Teas and Leaves, Cipher Plaza, the Light in the Dark, the Brazen Boar of Riverside, the Alchemist's Guild House, Haberstone Manor, Forgotten Lore, the Laren and Larkspur Theater, Percival's Pen and Parchment, Flagon Slayer Brewery, the Dark Steel Forge and Fencing Club, Mrs. Featherby's School of Charm, and you got Scrivener's Square. Alright, you have the Darkenhaven chapter of the Benevolent Guild of Barristers, Notaries, and Scribes. Simone and Simone. Leaves and Sheaves. Darkened Donuts. The Bank of the Republic. Deep Reflection. The Gilded Pipe. The Monthly Illustrator. Smiths and Daughters. The Tale of Barthos, Volume 4. Froop's Scriptorium. Rainier, Massey, and Corvallis. Feather Scale Print Shop. The Welcome Inn. The Noble Scrivener. The Truth Sayer's Ordination Enclave. Butcher's Bungled Prince. Reapster Minis Company Headquarters. Then you have Outside the Walls. You have the Belfry Lighthouse, the Grove of Ancient Knowledge, the Onyx Lance Training Center, Strange Range Ranch, Darkendeek Mine, the Slice of Haven Riverboat Casino, the Tower of Trials. Ravenstone Orchards. Golden Harvest Commune. The Thornfield Estate. All right. And then you have for your dungeon masters who want to add more locations, you have lists of names and places that and what they're about for you just to insert where you would like. All right. Ah, here it is. In Cobblestone. I did miss it. One more location that is near and dear to my heart. Greywan's Gadgets and Gizmos. You will find that in Cobblestone in Book 1. Don't know how I missed that. All right. And to wrap up the books that you get in this ginormous City of Darkenhaven box set is a not-so-brief guide to preparing and running city adventures. The Volume 3 Game Master's Reference Book. Here, you find Game Masters will find all sorts of great information on how to run a city set. You have the not-so-random encounter tables. You have GUI additions, the Grand Darkenhaven GUI encounter tables, inserting your own plots, the NPCs of Darkenhaven, items of Darkenhaven, the mundane treasures table, rumors and secrets, making money easy, battle stats. So in here, basically, you've got, again, if you're familiar with Gooey Cube products, you have all of your battle stats things. So if you want to encounter, have fights or whatever, all your battle stats are in there. You have all your GUI additions, which are encounters that won't end up in a fight or anything. It could be just sounds, or you see something odd, or whatever. It's just an encounter that you can have to just make the city more come to life. But it's not a lethal or even semi-lethal encounter. Those are your other encounters. And then in inserting your own plots on page 91 here, you've got information on how it says, when running a city adventure, it can sometimes be a difficult task to develop additional interesting tales and encounters that tie into your broader campaign. Below are some useful things to keep in mind that can help with this aspect of crafting tales in the city. So your talking points here are focal points, conflicts and challenges, themes, tone, and tying it all together. Then it gives you the NPCs of Darkenhaven. You can design your own NPCs, information on how NPCs are used, quest tips, city lore, rumors and gossip, hidden secrets, world building, and then the NPC cheat sheets that I showed you in video 1. Then you have the random NPC name tables. So if you if you're not good at making names, especially for the world of Zyathe, we got you covered. They're right here. a whole list of names and surnames that you can use for all of your NPCs that you may want to insert that aren't already listed in these books. And then you've got the items in Darkenhaven, which reference the item cards. Gives you descriptions of all of them and everything. And just to give you an example here, let me go through this real quick. Just to give you an example of the types of stuff that you'll get in there, other than the packs that I mentioned earlier. You got all your packs that I did mention earlier. Then you've got alchemy, armor, narcomy, mundane items, rods, spellcasting focuses, technic machinations, weapons, wondrous items, lots of wondrous items. And then you have your mundane treasures. Just odds and ends interesting things that you just might find all over the city. There's quite a fair amount of those as well. Then you got your rumors and secrets. Love those. Just all kinds of things that the player characters will pick up when they're interacting with people, or maybe even if just hearing in their passing that other people are talking about, that they just hear on the wind, or whatever the case may be. But you have a ton of rumors and secrets. Then in your making money easy, you've got the property values. If your characters want to purchase a building or residence or business, how much it would cost to upgrade a building that's not quite up to scale. Then you have a list of general services available in the city. And again, like I was saying, your battle stats. And that pretty much wraps it up for video number 2. But yeah, there's still more. In video 3, I'm going to be going over the very thick Darkenhaven floor plan pack. The Darkenhaven Game Master map pack. And the adventure handouts. So guys, if you love artwork like I do, and if you really don't like having to make maps and floor plans, join me for video number 3 of the unboxing of Darkenhaven boxed city set. Well, that wraps up video number 2. Thanks for watching, and until next time, and as always, see you soon.